Welcome in. I am the Crypto Bull God, and in today's video, we're going to discuss why I believe it's very possible, very soon, that REEF Finance will move its way on up to the top 100 crypto market cap rankings. If you appreciate the content, please make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop a comment, and subscribe to the channel. By the way, not only can you find me on YouTube at CryptoBullGod, you can also find me at Twitter, where I do a lot of TA at CryptoBullGod. You can find me on Instagram at CryptoBullGod, as well as Tradingview at CryptoBullGod. Just a quick disclosure that none of what I'm sharing is financial advice. I'm simply looking to educate and to help others. We're all big boys and big girls. Personal financial decisions are up to you. So with that being said, let's get into it. Before we very quickly get into the charts here, this really started off for me as sort of an opportunity to get into something purely from a TA perspective, okay? And the more I began to dig into the fundamentals associated with the project, the more it seems like a viable investment opportunity more for the long term, okay? Something that I plan to increasingly scale more into. Now, this channel is predominantly focused on technical analysis. Perhaps in a later video, I will consider spending a little bit more time discussing the fundamentals, but in short, this is a project that was created in 2019. Now, the ICO did not take place until March of 2021. This is a layer 1 blockchain scaling solution that is powered by the Polkadot ecosystem. Okay, and really that this layer 1 solution is optimized to go after decentralized finance. It's optimized to go after NFTs as well as gaming. And one of the value propositions that I really found very interesting is that essentially, in short, what the project is looking to do is it's looking to sort of merge centralized and decentralized finance and create essentially a central liquidity pool to remove some of the distortions that occur between centralized and decentralized finance, eliminate some of the arbitrage opportunities, create a gateway for individuals, reduce the barriers of entry for individuals to get involved, and then also scale back eliminate some of the illiquid problems that exist with decentralized finance. It's a really unique value proposition that I don't see anyone else attacking in that way. So really interesting. I would encourage you to read, catch up on some of the fundamentals here with REEF Finance. This is actually their homepage here. You can check them out. You can see it's what the URL is up here. So check them out. But let's focus on the technical analysis perspective like we always do on this channel. This is a 12-hour chart. Now, once again, there's not a lot of price data, right? The ICO came in March of 2021. I would not pay attention to this huge wick that took place here. A lot of projects, this is very common. You see a huge spike up volatility. We actually created a high. I would consider the all-time high basically at 6 cents. And then we fell into this massive correction in 2022, just like the rest of the market. We've been in a harsh correction, but not a bear market, as I explained on Sunday during the live stream from my point of view. Since then, we've consolidated and found our base down here, created a low here, and I want to kind of point this out just from a high-level perspective, as I always do on this channel. Sort of what's going on here. It sort of looks like we've had a rounding bottom, but keep in mind, really, I always say the building blocks of a bullish narrative are higher highs and higher lows, right? So we had our capitulation low, a higher low, higher low, higher low, higher low, and right now we've formed another higher low up here, right? We have a high, more higher highs, more higher highs. So these are all the basic building blocks of a bullish narrative, and as you can see on the 12-hour time frame, one of the things that's very encouraging to see, I speak to this on the Bitcoin chart quite routinely if you've been here for a little while, and that is that we have a golden cross on the 12-hour chart. As you know, the bullish momentum that kicks up on the smaller time frames, that eventually will bleed over into the higher time frames, so long as it is sustained on the smaller time frames, such as the 12-hour. Now you can see the 200 curling up and the 50 curling up, which is very encouraging to see. The other thing I would point out on this 12-hour time frame that's very important is we have some downward resistance here, okay? It's denoted here, that it's not surprisingly we came up and wicked up here. Now, some of the price indicators are indicating that we might be getting a little bit exhausted. So sort of what I would look, when looking at the 12-hour chart, what I would do in terms of an area to pull back to, I would actually draw a zone right in here, and I'll explain why. Right along here, roughly here. So between, roughly between 6.1 cents and 5.5 cents. Looks like a good area. This is an area we had difficulty getting above. So if we do scale back, I could see us getting as low on this chart. It looks like it's telling us, hey, 5.5 cents is very possible on a healthy pullback. Now, I do want to say it's not that we have to pull back. It's just that, you know, price might be getting a little bit exhausted. We've been making such a high run here for a little while, so it wouldn't be unnormal, especially in a volatile asset like this. We could see a little bit of a sharp pullback and then a movement up. Okay. Now, the other thing that I have drawn on this chart, let's get off the auto scale for a moment. I have this blue target. This is really the area that I want to see us hit next. Okay. Kind of reformatted this over originally what I had indicated. But there's really a major area, a band. I would call it a band of resistance right here, since we've broken down between 1.2 cents and 1.7 cents. Now we're currently sitting at around 0.7 cents. Okay. That's not 7 cents, 0.7 cents. Okay. So I really want to see if we can push up towards this 1.2 to 1.7 cent area. If we actually go back to an auto scale, actually I'll save it for a higher time frame. But the whole premise here behind the name of the video about getting up into the top 100 is, if we do see some sort of price consolidation in the shorter term here, okay, if we see some price consolidation in the shorter term, right, and a push up here more towards the 1.7 cents, that would result, 1.7 cents would be 2.5 times the current market cap. It would push it up based on existing market capitalizations in crypto. It would push it up in the top 100, okay? And once we get back up into this roughly 1.7 cent area, once we start to make a move above 1.7 cents, I'll plan to put out a second video. We can kind of talk about, reassess where we're at and talk about other key areas of price resistance that we should look for. Let's go to the daily here. Now, as you can see on the daily, the first thing I would want to point out here is it's very encouraging to see that we're going to have a golden cross coming in. Now, the other thing that we want to see on the daily chart is we want to see the 200 SMA kind of flatten out, right? Right now it's decreasing. Okay, the 50 is going to cross up, but the 200 is coming down. We really want to see it flatten out. Looking at the daily chart, it wouldn't surprise me, okay, to see price maybe, you know, and the moving averages are moving, right? So they're going to continue moving up, and in the case of the 200, they're going to continue moving sideways, or excuse me, continue to flatten out. But it wouldn't surprise me to see price come all the way maybe down here, right? Before we make a move up, which kind of aligns with the last view that we looked at. Ultimately, what is the key level that I don't want to see break? Once we made our large move up here and we wicked up here, we hit a low right here around, sorry, I keep moving my camera. We made a low there around 0.44 cents, okay, right here. I don't want to see price get below right here. I really don't want to see us get below there. Okay, green for support since we're above it. Okay, so we can come all the way down here. Hell, we could come down to 4.8 cents, okay? Again, very volatile asset. It's positioned at around 158 right now, I believe. Okay, so very volatile asset. The other thing that I wanted to take a look at, you know, the last view actually that I wanted to take a look at with you guys is on a 3-day time frame. Okay, and this consolidates the price action, and it really helps you more so to appreciate where we're at in the grander scheme of things. First off, looking at the price indicators, haven't topped out necessarily, but we hit a key level on RSI around 71. We actually created a new all-time high on RSI at 72.7 on the 3-day. So this suggests to me prices are overheated once again, and we could see a little bit of consolidation. Stochastic RSI looks fine. MACD's in great shape. Now, I want to point out, I'm not telling you that price has to come down and consolidate. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just leaning towards the fact that more than likely we're going to see some sort of pullback towards at least 6 cents, if not the mid at least 0.6 cents, if not 0.55 cent range, okay? But it is also quite possible, a lot of these projects, when they become, you're very early like this and they're overheated, these things can tend to be overheated for an extended period of time until you see a sharp pullback and then a continued move up. So there's no reason by next week we couldn't, 2x by next week. That's a very possible scenario, especially depending what's going on in the broader market. In that case, though, if we do see a sharp increase in price, let's say we were at 1.7 cents by next week, I would expect a sharp decline, though. One of the encouraging things I also wanted to point out that reminds me, one of the other encouraging things on price that I really like to see, we didn't see this huge increase in price and then a sharp sell-off, right? It wasn't a pump and dump. We've seen a lot of nice follow-through and continuation in price, right? Sort of like stair steps. We're sort of seeing some stair steps being developed here, which is very encouraging to see. Keep in mind, the other thing that has me very encouraged beyond the fundamentals that I mentioned I'm researching and looking at the chart, and I really like the setup, Layer 1s ran very hard in 2021. I expect nothing different going into 2023 when I expect the final and fifth Elliott wave structure to be completed on Bitcoin and for crypto to truly top out and go into a massive bear market. I do feel that layer 1s are going to perform very well. And the thing that you also have to understand, it's not just layer 1s, this is a new project. A lot of these new projects, especially the ones that have a lot of backing from investors, catch on. Once this thing actually does break up into the top 100, a lot more eyes are going to be on it. These newer projects have a tendency, the really good ones have a tendency to run very, very hard, okay? It's not going to take a lot of momentum. Once we clear 6 cents, it's essentially a blue sky breakout, and we have uncharted territories in terms of where we could go, okay? So keep ticker symbol REEF on your watch list. Watch this one in the coming several weeks going into the end of the year. Like I said, once we break 1.7 cents, I'm going to create an updated video and we can kind of talk about where we're currently at, reassess the situation, and my thoughts in terms of, where we're situated to go next. So for everyone tuning in, I appreciate it. If you appreciate it, make sure to spread awareness and carry the education forward.
So what you gonna do, $1 on CryptoBullGod and his crypto maniacs and the entire cryptocurrency market?